All right, let's just jump right in. Think about it. Podcasts are, without a doubt, one of the biggest sources of knowledge in the world today. I mean, we spend hours listening to learn about, well, everything. AI, history, business, you name it. But here's the crazy thing. The apps we use? They're basically stuck in the past. They're just repurposed music players, and that means they were never, ever designed for learning.
You know, this quote from a user on the Latent Space podcast just says it all, doesn't it? We have all been there. You remember hearing this incredible idea, this amazing insight, but trying to find it again, it's practically impossible. There's no Command F for your ears, and that simple, missing feature actually points to a way bigger problem. And that really gets to the heart of the matter. You invest all these hours consuming this incredibly valuable content, but be honest, how much of it actually sticks? A lot of the time, within just a few minutes of an episode ending, that knowledge just vanishes. This is the core tension we're going to dig into today. It's a problem we'll call the podcast paradox.
So, what is this paradox exactly? Let's break it down. Why is it that the very tools we use to listen to podcasts are actually the biggest barrier to retaining the knowledge we get from them? Well, it really comes down to a fundamental difference in how they're designed.
The problem really boils down to two totally different philosophies. On one hand, you've got your traditional apps. They treat a podcast like a music track. You press play, you listen, and that's the end of it. It's all about passive consumption. But on the other hand, there's this whole new category of AI-powered apps popping up. And they treat podcasts not as simple files, but as searchable, living knowledge bases that are designed for active learning.
And this brings us right to the focus of our explainer today, an app that was built from the ground up to solve this very problem. It's not just another podcast player. It's a tool designed from day one specifically for learning from spoken audio.
So, what is Snipd? Well, it's an AI platform with a really clear mission to help you capture, retain, and actually act on the knowledge you hear in podcasts. And the AI part isn't just some gimmick. It's the core engine that makes this entire learning process actually work.
The story of how Snipd even came to be is such a classic startup tale. It didn't start in some big corporate R&D lab. Nope. It started with a small team, a really specific problem, and one of those pivotal weekend projects.
And the entire company? Get this, it's just 4 people. A tiny, bootstrapped, all-technical team taking on giants like Spotify and Apple. It's a real David versus Goliath story.
So let's take a quick look at the founder's journey. The co-founder, Kevin Ben-Smith, actually started out in quantitative finance, but then a course on machine learning just changed everything for him. The key moment, the real spark, came at Hack Zurich. His team built a prototype to search within a podcast, and they won, proving the idea had some serious potential.
Now, originally, the idea was for a social feed, for sharing cool audio clips. But the team noticed something really surprising. People were using the snipping feature like crazy to save insights for themselves. That was the big aha moment. They realized the real value wasn't social sharing, it was personal knowledge capture.
Okay, so how does Snipd actually pull this off? How does it turn a simple, flat audio file into this rich, interactive learning experience? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the AI that's powering the whole thing.
For every single episode that you listen to, Snipd runs this incredible AI pipeline in the background. It's transcribing the audio, figuring out who is speaking and when, generating chapters with summaries, automatically pulling out any mentioned books or guests, and it even lets you have a conversation with the episode's content. It literally transforms a simple audio file into a structured, data-rich object.
And this is the feature that changes everything for active listeners. You know that moment, you're driving, running, walking the dog, and you hear something absolutely brilliant? All you do is triple tap your headphones. The AI grabs the last minute or so of audio, transcribes it, and then uses a large language model to generate a perfect little summary for your notes. No more scrambling for your phone, it's genius.
And here's a great example of just how deep this team's technical focus goes. Dynamic ads, the ones that change for every listener, they can throw off the transcript timings completely. So to solve this, they had to build their own system to keep the audio and text perfectly synced in real time. They basically built a Shazam for podcasts, just to make sure a core feature works flawlessly.
Okay, so all of this is incredibly cool right now, but what's really exciting is where Snipd is going next. Their vision is so much bigger than just being a better podcast player. They want to fundamentally change how we all learn from audio.
And this analogy from the founder just captures their ambition perfectly. Think about what Duolingo did for learning a language. It turned a passive, kind of boring activity into this engaging, active process. That's exactly the goal here for podcasts, to build a system that actively helps you learn and retain information.
So what might that future actually look like? Well, imagine this. You finish an episode, and right away, an AI voice companion starts a conversation with you. It might ask, "So what was your single most important takeaway from that?" Just a simple prompt like that forces you to do active recall, turning passive listening into active learning. And it's so powerful because it hooks directly into a habit you already have.
Which leaves us with this final, pretty thought-provoking question. As AI gets more and more integrated into how we learn, it's not just going to be about searching for information anymore. It's going to be about interacting with it, being challenged by it, and using it to truly understand. The future of learning might sound a lot less like a lecture and a whole lot more like a conversation.